Well, let's talk about the wide receivers here. Again, it's not much to write home about, but you got Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, Paris Campbell as the top three. And then coming off the bench, you do have Jalin Hyatt, the rookie, as well as Wan'Dale Robinson, who's coming off an ACL tear, last year's rookie. You also have Sterling Sheppard, who is going to be a Giant for life. He wants to retire a Giant. He is also a fantastic wide receiver coming off an ACL injury. Those are two. No, they didn't cut him. Those are two guys that I'm sitting there saying, like, I'm not drafting obviously Sheppard or Wan'Dale. I would take a chance on Wan'Dale Robinson in a dynasty league late. But to me, when you look at it all here, Darius Slayton is not the first wide receiver off the board, but is a great wide receiver for Daniel Jones in the past. Last year, he did have 46 receptions for 724 yards, 10 yards per target, and 15 yards per reception, 2 TDs. He was the most efficient and had the most receptions last year. Didn't mean that much. Isaiah Hodgins came up big at the end of the season for the Giants, outside of Richie James, obviously. And he had 37 receptions for 392 yards, 4 touchdowns. Paris Campbell, newly acquired, is a good slot wide receiver 3, super duper speed. And that's one thing the Giants did in this offseason is said, let's get speed. Speed at tight end, speed in the slot, speed on the outside with drafting Jalin Hyatt. I'm not drafting a Giants wide receiver unless it's Paris Campbell or Jalin Hyatt. And because they're so late, they're being picked up so deep in the draft overall, I'm taking a chance on the rookie. And that's a stash on my bench type of pick. And Paris Campbell, I think, is going to be sneaky one of the more popular wide receivers for Daniel Jones.
That's a mistake. Isaiah Hodgins is the guy to own here, and I would draft him. And I think here's my question.
If Richie James was still on this team, would you take Richie James over Isaiah Hodgins?
No.
I would. Richie James had a better season than Hodgins.
Overall, Hodgins came on late in the season. He wasn't playing in the first half of the season. So in terms of, we talked already about Jahan Dotson in this division, who is number 6 in fantasy points per target. Number 7, Isaiah Hodgins. Isaiah Hodgins was also number 1 in route win rate. He was also number 1 in win rate versus man. And that's amongst wide receivers. That's not amongst Giant wide receivers. That's amongst all wide receivers. He was extremely efficient in the red zone. The 4 touchdowns. How many receptions did he have?
He only had 37.
47 targets he had.
Yeah, 37 receptions.
4 touchdowns. He's a big body dude.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like him. He's good. I'm just saying, if
Daniel Jones and this offense is going to improve in the passing game, it's going to have to come from a big target receiver that's going to be able to get them downfield. And I think that Isaiah Hodgins is the guy to own there, and not. I get it with Jalin Hyatt. I get he's going to have the speed, the over the top.
Well, Hyatt's a dart throw. That's a coin toss. Like, I'm taking a chance on it. I'm saying Paris Campbell for the reason what you're saying is somebody's going to need to be able to take the top off this defense and spread the field down, and that's going to be Darren Waller. It's not going to be Isaiah Hodgins. That's going to be Darren Waller more times than not. And to me, I could see what Richie James was the go-to guy in a lot of situations and scenarios on third downs, etc. And Paris Campbell is stepping right in and arguably could be a better receiver than Richie James, although the stats Richie James had last year were fantastic, which is why someone like the Chiefs go grab him. And I think he's a dark horse wide receiver for the Chiefs. He's somebody that I'm looking to possibly get. But Paris Campbell goes into that situation. I think Paris Campbell could come out here being number 2 in targets on the team.
Yeah, like you gotta like what he did in Indy with like the bad quarterback play there, so he's going to be used to it coming to the Giants.
He just needs to stay healthy.
But yeah, I mean, like I don't not like Paris Campbell. I think that Paris Campbell and Isaiah Hodgins are the only 2 guys that I would own on this team. I think Slayton's a big play guy, but he's more of a best ball or DFS play than a guy that you're going to own in
he's a big playmaker. He's a down the sideline big playmaker, which you like. I mean, if you're going to throw somebody in the flex on a bye week, you could possibly take a chance on him based on matchups.
I get the appeal of drafting rookies, but Jalin Hyatt's probably not even like the 5th or 6th rookie wide receiver that I would draft. I mean,
Correct.
he's probably not even. He's probably closer to the 10, or if not after the 10. And I just don't think this passing offense can sustain him. And then if you look deeper into his numbers last year, he was really inefficient with like winning routes. He's struggling to do that. He has a limited route tree, where he's better suited on drag routes, on shorter slant routes to win. So I think he's going to be at least have to grow into that position. But if we want to move on to Darren Waller, and you can say your piece on him and how much you love him and how he's not going to be the next Kenny Golladay for the Giants, like, go right ahead, because that's a high priced free agent for a guy that plays very minimally.
Well, I will say about Jalin Hyatt, and like I said, I like him for the sheer fact of his explosiveness and his speed. And in a season where the Giants didn't really have that last year outside of Saquon Barkley because Wan'Dale left and Sheppard got hurt, you're going to need somebody on the outside with that speed. And he's like, I mean, Darius Slayton's fast too, don't get me wrong, but not Jalin Hyatt. Not Jalin Hyatt speed. Like even the guys,
4-4.
You know, but I'm just saying 4-4 versus on field, it's different. You know it. You played football. You played sports. Somebody could run a 4-4 40 on a straight line,
sports.
But yay sports. You get somebody that's moving in a different gear, and that's what his teammates are saying. Again, it's a dart throw. I'm taking like my 13th or 14th pick on this guy, maybe even the last pick in the draft on this guy, as a stash away, hopeful that like, hey, maybe by mid-season he's being used by the Giants and getting like 5 targets a game because one of those targets could be a touchdown.
Well, even there, like, because like Tank Dell's going in the 15th round.
He's not going to go in the 15th round after preseason. You know that. He's already being hyped up hard.
As of right now, as of today, he's going 15th round.
I agree. Listen,
would you take Tank Dell, or would you take
John Mechie's going later than that too, and I like John Mechie. And DJ Chark
he's the same explosive speed, breakaway speed, right?
No, he's not. I never said that. Also, when you think about it too, DJ Chark's going one of the last rounds, and that guy's going to have a fantastic season, and he's going to have a lot more opportunities because he's going to play. I get it. I'm not saying for people to go out and take Jalin Hyatt. I'm saying I would take the risk bench spot on it for the upside if halfway through the season this guy is all of a sudden having 60% of the snaps and he's getting like maybe say 8 targets and he gets 5 catches for 110 yards because that's what he could do with the ball real quick. There's a chance. I'm also a Giants lover, so take that with a grain of salt. But Darren